Hi everyone, welcome back to Linger Longer with Books. My name's Catherine, and in this week's video I'm taking you to Stratford upon Avon to the Literary Festival. I'm going to see Andrew Lownie in a couple of hours, so I thought that I would just come and explore the town and grab a coffee. I've had a nice coffee and a pain au chocolat, so I am fueled for the morning. I've just made it to the Crown Plaza Hotel, obligatory car shot. You'd be disappointed if I didn't have a car shot in my video, I feel by now. So I've got around a good half an hour before the talk starts, so I thought I would get here in good time just to get my bearings and to get a decent seat, which is always important, isn't it, in our bookish minds for author talks. So don't want to be rushing, no stress today. So I'm going to go see if I can maybe get a second coffee in the lobby or the sort of inside the hotel, and get settled and get ready for the talk. So Andrew Lownie, as you will have seen from the video thumbnail, is a British historian. He's also a literary agent, I think, in other spheres of his life. He has written quite a few books now on key historical figures, prominent people, royalty, British royalty. So I have read 3 of his books so far: The Mountbattens, The Traitor King, and now Entitled. So this talk is going to focus on Entitled, that is all about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, former Prince Andrew, formerly known as Prince Andrew. He's obviously been stripped of his titles now. So from all of the news headlines over the last few weeks, this is an incredibly kind of fortuitous moment to see Andrew speak about his very new book that's just out, I think around a month or 6 weeks ago now. So it'll be really interesting to see what he says. Obviously this is a fast moving situation, and with the kind of the media reporting and the public understanding about what's happening, it feels like every day at the moment we're waking up to sort of new headlines. So yes, I've read Entitled, thought it was extremely eye-opening, not just on Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, but also his former wife Sarah Ferguson, also known as Fergie. They're both quite unlikable people for lots of different reasons. There's not many redeeming features about them in the book, but it will be great to see Andrew in real life speaking about his writing and how he's approached this particular book. So in fear of rambling, I shall report back to you in a little bit. I am now feeling a bit more refreshed. I've had a bath, so my hair is drying. That's why it's kind of all over the place, going in different directions, but I definitely feel more human after the drive home, which took around 2 and a bit hours. And I thought that I would just come on here to reflect on how Andrew Lownie's talk went at Stratford Literary Festival, and share some bookish goodies that I picked up today. So first off, in terms of the talk that Andrew gave, he was interviewed, but obviously spoke really kind of articulately about the book that has just been published that he's written. I think it's 4 years of research. I think he approached 3,000 people and spoke to about 300 of those in terms of their experiences and their memories of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. It was incredibly thought-provoking, as I thought it would be, incredibly interesting about all of Andrew Lownie's research, kind of the accounts that he has been able to access, those people that are now coming forward in light of his book being published, and Virginia Giuffre's book as well. So I was very glad, all in all, that I made the trip up there. I went up there, which you won't have seen in the footage. I travelled up, drove up Saturday night for, just over 2 hours, same as the journey back today. Stayed over because I thought it was just going to be too much driving to do in one day. I'd just be too tiring before going back to work on Monday when this video comes out. And apologies if you can hear fireworks or something that you think sounds like fireworks. It is fireworks. People are obviously letting them off before heading back to reality tomorrow, which, as I said, is Monday. So you'll have seen from the footage that I went into Stratford town centre first thing, got a coffee, had a little wander around for about an hour, then headed to the talk. Then I went back into Stratford town centre, which is like a 3-minute drive from the hotel, which was on the kind of the outskirts of the town. And I picked up a few things. I ventured around a couple more bookshops and had to get the thing that I am becoming known for when I go to new places, and that is, of course, the fridge magnet. Don't know if you can see that very well. Don't know if it's going to focus, but it's got William Shakespeare, and then Stratford-upon-Avon, and it's got Shakespeare's birthplace, Anne Hathaway's cottage, and the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. So I walked right by the theatre today, had a look at some canal boats on the River Avon. It was lovely and sunny, a little bit cloudy at times, but it was lovely to get some fresh air and have a wander about as I went in and out of the main kind of thoroughfare of shops. So that is going to go straight on my fridge. That was £3.99 from a touristy, gimmicky shop, as you might expect. So there's that one. Then I came home with 2 books, and I went into the Waterstones there. I had some loyalty points to spend, which kind of equate to a £10 voucher. And I thought that would be a nice treat to remember the trip with. And I was looking around, nothing was really jumping out at me in terms of a discounted hardback or getting a hardback at a really, really good price with the voucher. And the same with the paperbacks. I kind of looked downstairs and upstairs, and nothing was sort of screaming by me. But as I walked back down the stairs, you're kind of right on top of the till area, and I could see the stack of books behind the till. And I was like, oh, I wonder if they're for sale. So like a mad bookish woman, I said to the lady behind the till, I said, are those books behind you for sale? Because sometimes they can kind of be reserved, or they're ready to go out on shelves. I don't know. I just thought, oh, they might not necessarily be up for grabs, but they were. So I got one, and that is, as many of you will know, if you're Agatha Christie fans, the Mr. Men series that's just come out. So I bought Mr. Poirot, Mischief on the Nile, and this is a collaboration between Roger Hargreaves and Agatha Christie. And I have been looking online for these books and seeing that they're sort of not that easy to get hold of, and they've been sort of selling out in sort of batches quite fast. So they had Mr. Poirot, and they also had Miss Marple, and that's something to do with, obviously, I think the vicarage. Can't quite remember the title. Let me know if you know, just add it into the comments. That would be good to know. But I thought, well, my first love in terms of Agatha Christie stories was with Poirot and then with Marple, because I have been to Egypt, I've been down the Nile. Some of my favourite stories are Death on the Nile as well as the movies. I thought it had to be this one of the two, and this was $9.99. So this technically was a free book in my mind, as we all do our book maths, don't we? It's free, doesn't cost me anything, even though I spent a lot of money accruing those points in the first place. So this is looks like a really charming. First off, I love like the Art Deco inside the end papers, and I'm just going to flick through this. I haven't had a look through it yet, but it's just extremely charming and cute. Colour illustrations and obviously a story as well. This looks like a lot of fun, and this won't take me very long to read, will it? So I'm really happy that I have got my hands on a copy of that one. So yeah, I was really thrilled to almost skip out the shop with that one. And then, sorry, paper bag rustling. Then I was dashing back to my car because I only had an hour's ticket on it. And it's one that you can't renew. It's just 1 hour, absolutely, like you've got to be out of there, because I was on kind of one of the main town centre streets. And I thought, and then I saw the Oxfam sign as I turned into Sheep Street, which is where I was parked, if any of you are familiar with Stratford, or you go and visit Stratford yourself. And I was like, oh, and then one book was in the window display, and I was like, no, I've got to go in there and see how much that is. So again, resembling a very strange person, probably, I went straight in the door, went around the display, and then reached down to, I only snapped a photo, there's no footage of the inside shop, but I sort of crouched down and then sort of grabbed this book, and that is Riley Sager with a Vengeance. This it feels like this hasn't been out very long. I swear it's this year, 2025. It's in immaculate condition. There's like just one tiny little page that's bent there. Yeah, absolutely great condition. And I just opened the sleeve and it said £3.49. I thought, that's all I need to know. I have got this on Kindle, I think, when it was on for 99p, but in my heart, you cannot beat a hardback. My preference is hardbacks, and then paperbacks, and then audiobooks and ebooks in terms of, if I could choose the format of books that I read. And I know hardbacks are quite controversial. Not a lot of not everyone out there likes them. They're quite heavy, aren't they? It depends on how many pages they are as well. But I thought, no, I need to grab this. This needs to come home with me, not anybody else. So I was on the phone at the same time. The woman at the till there probably thought I was incredibly odd, but I was as polite as I could be. Said, can I buy this? Hang on a minute. Thank you. Take my money, take all my money. And then I just ran on to my car with like a minute or two to go. So there you go. Those are the things that I bought in Stratford upon Avon. It really feels like a bit of a whirlwind 26-hour trip from the time I left home to the time I got back home for Stratford Literary Festival. You might think, did I see other author talks? I didn't. I just had one ticket, and that was to see Andrew Lownie. And there is an incredible lineup, and I could have booked more tickets. I perhaps should have, with hindsight. I hope to go back in future years. When I came out of the Andrew Lownie talk, the queue for the ballroom within this hotel where all of the talks were happening in various different rooms, the next talk was Sir Philip Pullman. So that just indicates the calibre of authors and writers and speakers that the festival has. So I just should have been more organised. I probably should have made a weekend of it. But in future, I very likely will do that. I must look the festival up. I'm assuming it's on every autumn, but I don't know for sure. So if you know out there and you've been this year or other years, let me know what you have enjoyed the most at Stratford. But it's great to see so many literary festivals happening, and it feels like more and more festivals are happening through the year, not just kind of all in one kind of clump over a month or two, which gives people really fair chance to be able to travel, to afford them, because they're not cheap. Once you've sort of factored in accommodation, travel costs, whether that's train or flight or petrol, fuel, and then actually all the bits that go around it being at the festival itself as well. So I will wrap the video up. I hope you've really enjoyed this one. For those of you who have watched more than one of my videos by now and you are regulars, you will know that I do a bit of a call out at this point in the video, just to let me know that you are out there and that you've watched this far. So I'm gonna stick to that. Not gonna change any expectations on that. And I think in honour of the literary festival, leave me a ticket stub of your choosing. I like tickets, I like paper tickets, but obviously a lot of tickets are electronic, as was this one. So it was in my Apple Wallet this time. But it's lovely to come back with some sort of souvenirs, isn't it, and from the memories that you've made at festivals. So kind of every time I look at my fridge and see this one, I'll think, yeah, that was when I went to the literary festival. And the same with the books that I've bought. So one new, one secondhand. Did I need either of them? No. Does it matter? No. But anyway, I hope you're all doing really well out there. I hope you've got some a good read on the go, whether that's hardback, paperback, audiobook. Let me know also out there what your preference is for format. Are you a hardback fan? Are you a paperback lover? Are you like an audiobook junkie? Let me know. I would like to know. Maybe I'll run a poll at some point. That would be interesting to see, out of all of you lovely kind of followers of mine, what where we all stand on kind of a preference for book formats. But anyway, I shall sign off here. I shall be back to normal with my usual Monday new video release, so watch out for those. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet subscribed and you fancy seeing more content like this, and also hit the notification bell so you never miss any of my future video uploads. I'd love to grow my community and have you as a part of it. So I shall say goodbye. Please take care, and I shall see you next week. Bye.